With Rai Italia, today's top stories.
Tomorrow, the 7th G7 held in Italy will take place in Puglia. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has already reached the premises, while U.S. President Joe Biden will be arriving at the Brindisi airport later today. Around 20,000 people are expected to arrive, including 1,300 journalists and 9,000 security personnel. Let's hear more details from Mauro Merosi.
È il favoloso Hotel Borgo Ignazia, costruito come un
The Hotel Borgo Ignazia, built like a traditional hamlet but home to one of the most luxurious hotels in the world, will be hosting the heads of state of the upcoming G7 in Puglia. With the exception of Giorgia Meloni, the other heads of state will all be discussing extremely important issues from a particularly delicate position compared to the past. Joe Biden is facing an uncertain future in the United States. Rishi Sunak will most likely lose next month's elections. Emmanuel Macron and Olaf Scholz obtained terrible results at the European elections, and the prime ministers of Canada and Japan are currently not very popular in their respective countries.
This is a special G7 because some of the leaders may not be there in the next G7 next year. And it's a special G7 also because most likely next year there will be a different political posture in many G7 countries. So they need to take decisions and increase the cohesiveness.
In addition to G7 leaders who will be welcomed by Italian President Sergio Mattarella, other countries will be present, including India, Turkey, Ukraine, Brazil, Argentina, Algeria, and Kenya, as well as leadership of the European Union, of 5 international organizations, and Pope Francis, who will be arriving by helicopter and will leave right after the session on artificial intelligence. Today, President Sergio Mattarella took part in the Confcommercio General Assembly. The president of the Confcommercio Association, Carlo Sangalli, asked the new European Commission, which will be formed after the elections, for more pragmatism vis-à-vis the European Green Deal, which must be sustainable from both an economic and social point of view, with innovative financial instruments tailored to local authorities and businesses. Sangalli lamented the commercial desertification of small towns and large suburban areas. In the past few years, in some parts of the country, up to 25% of stores have disappeared. President Mattarella focused on the value of businesses in his address. Let's hear an excerpt.
Il commercio è libertà.
Commerce is important. It means freedom, freedom to do, freedom of exchange, freedom of enterprise. It means consumers are able to choose. Commerce is at the service of social cohesion, a driver for development, which is an essential tool to reach goals such as environmental sustainability. It's a way to encourage integration, as demonstrated by the presence of businesses headed by immigrants coming from other nations. It's a way to achieve legality. Commerce is the litmus test for the health of a society. I welcome the Progetto Legalità, developed by Confcommercio to counter all forms of criminality, counterfeiting, illegal employment, and loan sharking. The digital healthcare dossier was presented in Rome today, a digital medical record of all patients treated by the national healthcare system, which already exists in some regions but will be extended to the entire nation. Many are the benefits, including improving and streamlining care and treatment in a consistent way. The innovation is made possible by the PNRR, or National Recovery and Resilience Plan funds, guaranteeing the privacy of patients while at the same time allowing physicians to access information on examinations and tests carried out on his patients, from emergency room records to vaccinations and medical prescriptions. Pensions in Italy, a simulation by INPS, the Italian National Social Security Institute, with the updated life expectancy and new budget law legislation, sheds light on an alarming data. Today's 30-year-olds will not be able to retire before age 70 or possibly 74 if they don't pay at least 20 years of pension contributions. According to Eurostat, Italy remains among the European countries with the highest pension expenditure. The pension GDP ratio is 16.3 in Italy, while the EU average is 12.9%. Two new cases of femicide in Italy. In Modena, a 48-year-old man showed up before the Carabinieri to turn himself in with his ex-wife's body in the trunk of his car. The couple had split and was fighting over child custody, which the victim had obtained from an Austrian court. And yesterday, the body of a 39-year-old woman who lived in a gypsy settlement near Pistoia was found. The woman was strangled to death, but someone staged a suicide. 19 women have been killed so far in Italy since the beginning of the year. Today is the last day of the European Athletics Championship in Rome. 10 finals scheduled for today, with the possibility of Italy earning more medals. All eyes on Larissa Iapichino in the high jump and the 4x100-meter relay race. Great success yesterday for Gianmarco Tamberi in the high jump and Nadia Battocletti in the 10K run, with guest of honor Italian President Sergio Mattarella present in the stands. Let's hear from Marco Tripisciano. A spectacular evening for athletics. Gianmarco Tamberi inflamed the audience like Alberto Tomba and Valentino Rossi once did. Jimbo, the champion, showed he has the muscle memory of a true captain. A temporary struggle to overcome the 2:29 mark, he then crushes the other heights, reaching a baffling 2 meters 37, a championship record. After that, it's only cheers and hugs for Tamberi, including a hug with Italian President Sergio Mattarella, who was following the evening events at the Olympic Stadium. After seeing what my teammates had achieved and accomplished, as captain, I couldn't win by a hair. I had to prove to everyone that I am still in the game. A monumental Nadia Battocletti in the women's 10K run. Her opponents try to obstruct her, but Nadia breaks away from her rivals with 600 meters to go to the finish line. A historic double gold medal for her. Even the Italian president stood up to congratulate the queen of the European Championship personally. An unforgettable moment for Nadia. In the men's 400-meter hurdles, an amazing Alessandro Sibilio takes silver with a national record of 47.50 behind Norwegian Karsten Warholm at 46.98. Beating the previous Italian record set by his friend Fabrizio Mori.
We thank Marta Ercolani for the translations. You can find the Italian news in English on our website, rainews.it. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same channel.